Hey everyone, so I'm currently waiting on a video to render and I thought, well, I may as well give you a little bit of behind the scenes because I've recently adopted a new workflow for how I do thumbnails. And you know what? A, it's pretty nifty, and B, if you have an iPad, I guess, and a Mac as well, then it's actually something that you can do yourself, for a second screen. So let's jump into it. Okay, so no idea how I'd actually record this stuff natively, so I'm just using my phone, which, you know what, is fine because modern phones are pretty damn incredible. So, iPad Pro, one of my favorite devices ever, actually, and something I want to talk about a hell of a lot more. Yeah, I mean, tablets are so good for productivity, and yeah, I found it to be incredibly useful. Now, I also have the pencil, and here is a thumbnail that I made earlier. So, I'm going to show you the new workflow. Normally I'm doing everything with a mouse on a Windows computer or with the trackpad on the Mac. And you know, for my thumbnails, as an example with this character, this StarCraft adjutant, I had to do a lot of using the lasso tool and things like that to key around the robot's face. To cut around the robot's face. And that really is quite horrible when you're using a mouse. And there's also a lot of times where I do a lot of enhancement of color, but I do it selectively. So I'm basically painting over things using a vivid light blend layer. Doing all that with a mouse sucks. So here's the new workflow. We are going to open AstroPad Studio. And there we go. You can see AstroPad Studio has now synced itself up. Due to how I have set some stuff up, it actually does do this guy as a second monitor for the Mac, which is pretty cool. That's all because of this guy, which is the Luna display, which I found to be really good, super low lag. I'm currently using a USB Type-C connection going into the Mac. So yeah, it's actually pretty cool, and I mean, that latency is seriously low, and I've actually found that with the Luna display app, instead of the AstroPad Studio app, because the AstroPad Studio app seems to be a little bit more heavyweight, and the actual Luna display app seems to have a lower lag. But anyway, let's actually move on to the real reason why I'm here, which is, doing this properly and showing you how it integrates with Photoshop. So I guess what's kind of cool is, like, I do technically from this guy have a touch-based Mac. Of course, as soon as we go over here, it's not, pencil's not going to do anything, much to my sadness, so yeah, we're just going to set this up to mirror the displays. So one click of this button and it's now in mirroring mode, and we are just going to set it up so that it is best optimized for the built-in Retina display of the Mac, which I have now done. Okay, what does this actually mean? There's my Mac, there's the iPad. Now, if I can show you here, I can actually do pinch to zoom and all of that stuff using this, which is very cool. It is so intuitive. In fact, right, because I've been doing a lot of thumbnails in this, but then I've also been doing loads of thumbnails over here. This is Jess's workstation using her Wacom Cintiq. It's not a Cintiq Touch, and tell you what, I would take the iPad with this any day over it. So, I mean, yeah, it's actually quite good. Let's go and maximize Photoshop. With that done, if I just quickly select a brush. Now, for some reason, I have not got pen pressure working. Pen pressure does work, in fact, and if I actually go here and go to pencil and stroke, there's loads and loads of different settings for all of that. Like, you can do a custom pressure curve, and all of those really, really cool things. I actually don't really need that for what I do because, let's be real, I'm not an artist. So, let's just get some vivid light, which is one of the effects that I use to just enhance the colors. I mean, from an artistic perspective, what I do ruins the colors, but it makes them stand out more because at the end of the day, I'm delivering to a YouTube thumbnail that is viewed when it's tiny. So I'm just going to put this up to like a really high percentage. And for some reason, it is refusing to do that. That is not to do with the pen though. That seems to be to do with Photoshop settings. Yeah, I'm incredibly stupid. The way my iPad is, it's currently leaning on the 1 key. So yeah, maybe that was not my finest move ever. I mean, hey, I don't have that many super fine moves. Yeah, so let's put this up to 100 and then I can go, hey, but with a really bad brush and very easily undo the whole thing, which is quite lovely. And then 3 fingers to redo. Super natural, way nicer than using using the traditional setup. And it's the sort of thing where, is this a cost-effective thing to do if you don't have an iPad? No, but if you also happen to have one, any of the iPad Pros that support the pencil anyway, then, you know, you can do that. And like for that, you know, I could grab that using my actual pencil, which is so much more intuitive, so much more precise. And yeah, that is my modern thumbnailing workflow. Anyway, yes, this is technically covering Battle Royale, but it's actually because of a loot box thing, and the point is more talking about government regulation, loot boxes, and you know how all of that stuff's panning out in the industry. But this video is about to finish up. I think I've shown you really most of at least what I'm using with this. I know you can push it a lot further. So yeah, I will check in with you later. And yeah, at some point I would really love to do a video about how much I use this iPad Pro. I mean, it's clean ridiculous how much I use it. I use it more than this MacBook guy. Yeah, it's really cool. Anyway, there's a bit of a look behind the scenes. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.